tonight, what I'm doing, tonight being the 6th of March 2012, is I'm going to start forming the framework that will go here and form the rear of the body. And what I need to do first is make the tubes that will go from here to about here on the back fender with a nice pleasant curvature. And what I've done so far is I've bent one of them. These are pieces of 1/2 inch square 65 thousandths wall mild steel tubing bought at Lowe's, in keeping with my my home built ethos. And what I've done so far is, I don't know if we can, let's see, I got the curved side, yeah. So you can see that makes a very nice curvature around back to here. I'm going to have to trim it, and it's actually going to be at a little bit sharper angle than that, probably about like that, so that it comes in and I can make a rear cowl that's the same shape as the dash cowl that'll go either over the gas tank or right behind it, and weld to this top bar. I got to make two of these. I've got to make two of these top tubes here, one for obviously the driver's side and one for the passenger side over here. As you can see, I'm holding it, my videography isn't the best, although it's better than the Toshiba Thrive, trust me. So yeah, so I got to make that, and then what I'm going to do is, and so what I need to do, I've got this one bent here, and this will that winds up being my master pattern, okay? My master pattern. And I've got this other one here that I'm starting to bend by just very simply placing it in the vise and yanking on it. And I've got the first section of it going, and the curvature is very close until we get to about here, and so I have to gently bend it back and forth until I get to here where it's straight all the way back to there, and then I'll have those two top pieces, and then I can make I began forming the piece that's going to mount over this fender, and it actually is going to mount to the fender because this Intruder 1400 fender is a big old stiff piece of steel, and I've stood upon it and reached stuff up there in the rafters just to see how strong it was. I won't say that it didn't flex a little bit. You can see right there possibly, but yeah. So this is going to mount about, I don't know, maybe an inch away from the fender, so there'll be a little air gap, and you'll get to see the Suzuki fender in there with its little flip-up tail, which I really like. But this has to get formed last, and then so I got some more bending to do on that second tube. So let's see how that works out. Yay! All right, so let's do this. Bend that back a little. Oh my, that's not. That's bent a little too far, so we go back here, and what do we see? Oh, it needs to be bent more there. And less here. almost. Check that out. I think that is, there's the two pieces right there. Formed and bent and ready for something. Maybe I'll tack them on. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I don't know right now. Okay, there we go. All right, now let's do something else. And that. And now I will administer the coup de grace. Beep, beep, and beep. There we go. I think that's okay. Don't you? Again, that lines up with the pinstriping, which is nominally on center. Gosh, yeah. Mounds don't. There we go. Get that. And I'm with this. Boom. And let's chop this off, shall we? Right. So let's take a look at that. How's that look? It's okay. What I've done to correctly form this piece, after I showed it to you in that last video, is after I'd made that initial form, I traced it into my my engineering notebook, and what I found was that this is the driver's side and the passenger side. Okay, what I found was that the driver's side curved out more than the passenger side did. That's the passenger side curve, and this is the driver's side curve. So what I did was I flipped it over. And I traced out, here's the passenger side curve over here. We'll call this D over P. Whoops, that doesn't look much like a D, does it? D over P. And over here we have P over D. So this is the curve that I want the driver's side to follow. So what I'm going to do, so what I've been doing is, there's the center line, which I so conveniently marked right here, although I don't have it really. So I've been placing it on the curve and then bending it across the curvature on my vise, either here or here, and sometimes in here, and giving it a little tweak, and trying to make it make this side match this inner curve as close as I could. So let's do some more of that, because I'm not quite there yet. Unlike some, I have found that alcohol is not really conducive to what you'd call accurate metal fabrication. So I'm having my favorite custom car building libation right here, IBC root beer. Where was I? Oh, right. Boom. I think that's, yeah. Right there will be the center of the new slight curvature. So we will do this. And another tiny tweak. And oops. Oh yeah, there we go. And there we go, we got it. That's as even as I'm gonna try to make it. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Alright, so what I've done is I've got my little, I don't know if you can see, yeah. I got my nicely curved end piece mounted, clamped to the fender on my 2-inch height, and it's evenly spaced as best I can get it. Yeah. there, about 1.5 inches. Well, more like 1 inch and 9/16. Yeah. Oops. About like that. So, excuse me. Then what I did is I laid this, I stuck it to the back of the frame with a magnet, or at least a magnet for size. Then I traced an angle on it. Now I'm cutting this one, so that I can lay it on. There we have our angle. Slight bit of massaging. We all like a nice massage, don't we? Good. Okay. Here we have the very first piece I've had to weld on the floor. The old 1-2, I suppose. Once more into the breach, my friends. Here we go. This is the beautiful thing. Here's my fabulous and ever wonderful first top bow for the. There. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that. Excuse me. Excuse me, engineering note. Yeah, that's pretty damn awesome, I think. Don't you? Yeah. Well, now you can hear that the jet engine's back on over there. Yeah, got a little cold in here. It is only March 6th after all. So what I got is I got this 48-inch piece of 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch strap, which is what that piece is made out of. And the dashboard is made out of 1-inch strap. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the middle of this piece and then clamp it to the dashboard and then form it to the dashboard. And then bring it back here and made it to this thing. I think that'll work out pretty groovy, don't you? Yeah, I do. At any rate, so let's get marking and bending. Did some bending, and I made another hoop out of the 3/4 by 1/8 inch strap that mimics the curvature of the dashboard. As I think I did okay. I mean, looking at it, it's not too bad. I mean, you can't really see because the seats are in the way, but it doesn't look too bad. It's even anyway, so I think I'm going to tack weld that in place, and then do some other stuff, and then no, actually that'll be it for tonight. So yeah, I think I've made significant progress on the tail end bodywork, framing the tail end bodywork of this thing. So yeah, and there it is. Tack welding all tacked in place, and ready to go. Well, it's not tacked. I actually did the finish welds on that one hoop, but I've got other stuff to do here. It's going to be good. Okay, good night.